Hi, it's Meryl from My Mystery School. I recently saw this chart. I think it was on Pinterest, and it's a map of money consciousness. It looks at where your energy level is according to how you can attract abundance. Right down at level 1, there's the blame, despair, and apathy level where you're in a poverty mentality. And the top level, level 10, is illumination, where you feel like money just comes and your purpose is supported. With 10 levels of money consciousness, I thought how beautifully it corresponds to the minor cards in the tarot. So I've invented a bit of a money consciousness spread to see where you are in your energy around law of attraction and abundance. The person I'm reading for is Julia. And the first thing we do is we take out all the cups. And I'm going to use the cups, the minors, 1 to 10, to see where we are in our money consciousness levels. Now I've got my cups separated. I'm just shuffling these 10 cards and we'll see where Julia is according to that map of the money consciousness. The first card says where she thinks she's at. The second card is where she's been in her money consciousness. And the last card is where she's really at. Julia, where you think you are, you think you're about in the middle at the number 6. The 6th level is about satisfaction and trust. And what it needs is purpose. Where you've been feeling really abundant in the past. So I expect there's been a downslide in your money consciousness and there's a loss of purpose around how you feel about your abundance. Where you're really at is a 7. Level 7 is acceptance, forgiveness, and giving. So although there's been a loss potentially, it's not as bad as what you think. The second part of this spread is we'll do a money consciousness reading. So I'll use a different deck and we're looking for Julia. How can you improve your money consciousness? The first position. What does money mean to me? The High Priestess. Money represents something that's a bit magical and hidden. The energy of money for Julia is about her internal world, her internal safety, fulfilling her personal dreams. Money gives her that freedom to explore this energy, this internal world. It may also be that money represents a mysterious, boundless, bottomless kind of pit for her. But I say the High Priestess is a supportive role and not an abyss. So Julie is really tuned in to the energy of money. What's Julia's best resource? The King of Cups. She has a lot of compassion. She's very protective. She's very generous and she's got that strength of water, emotionally strong. So one of her best ways of calling in better resources and raising her consciousness around money is acknowledging how powerful she is in a caring, compassionate and protective role. What is her challenge? The King of Swords. I wonder if it's been hard for Julia to rise to the top. The King of Swords is that logical mental energy. He's that figure of authority. He makes the final decision. And it might be that because Julia's great gift and the energy around money is this compassionate internal side, maybe the King of Swords is a challenge for her about getting it out in the world or having a place of authority with that. Being in a workplace that is too dry for her spiritual nourishment. I also wonder if it's a challenge for Julia. King of Swords is very decisive. Maybe part of her skill with money consciousness is to run with those ebbs and flows. And it's a challenge to know where the money is and how it's coming in and what's being paid. How can she raise her money consciousness? So we go 3 cards for this. The Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. I think for Julia this means she can raise her money consciousness by actively participating in work. The Knight of Pentacles is the hard worker that keeps on going, that works through the drudgery. Although there's a plan here with the 2 of Wands to look further afield. And sometimes this for me is internet, online work, connecting with overseas, making long distance plans. And it's about communication. There may be 2 roles that she can take on. It might even be a plan to somehow harness this gift she has of compassion and protection and the emotional side of it with a very clear, decisive business plan, or even a way to balance the King of Swords' logic, rational side with the King of Cups' ability to stretch and bend what is available. King of Cups uses resources rather than money. The final card she has in how can she raise her money consciousness is the 8 of Pentacles, and that's the card of the hard worker, the one who gets down to business and just plods on through. I have a feeling here with these 2 Pentacles that she needs to get her hands into the work. She needs to be hands-on, and that gives her that sense of purpose that up here she seems to have veered off from. The main energy around money consciousness for her being the High Priestess, she can manifest money and resources whenever she tunes in, and she's very intuitive about it. But I suspect it's the building up of the doing that will elevate her from a level 7 to the level 10. The King of Swords as a challenge might even be Julia putting unnatural restrictions on her ability to manifest. Or there may be some very decisive block that she has to work in, and maybe this 2 of Wands gives a plan to harness both sides of this. The Knight of Pentacles says that you've done hard work. It's a bit like the hard work that you've put in is now unrecognised or a mystery. Just to restore your confidence in it, write down 8 times you were really satisfied with a job that you'd done. And that job doesn't have to be paid work. At the end of each little story, write down the skills that you had in order to reach that place of achievement, success and satisfaction. Julia, even if you put an hourly rate, gave yourself an hourly rate and calculated how much you're worth, just looking after the kids and running the house, I think that would be a way of knowing how much work you put in, what your value is, and raising your money consciousness that way. You think you're at a level 6, needing purpose before you can move on to the next place. But in reality, you're at a level 7, which is acceptance, forgiveness, and giving. Your money consciousness is really elevated because you are able to give and create that wave of abundance and prosperity and generosity. This is really working for you. If you'd like to check into your money consciousness level, you can try using this map. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with it. I just saw it on Pinterest. Then separate your minors, the cups, draw 3 cards, where you think you're at, where you've been, and where you're really at. And then with a full deck of tarot, draw the 6 cards of the money consciousness spread. What does money represent? What's your best resource? What's your challenge? And 3 cards on how to raise your money consciousness. I'm Meryl Key, and this is my mystery school. If you'd like to learn tarot, check out my Heart of Tarot video course at www.merylkey.com/courses. Blessed be.